Hi, this is Jeffrey Cohen, Chicago Quantum. How are you? It's August 19th. It's Friday. Options expiration is today. We're getting a little bit late start in the day, so you're gonna check out the market the way we check out the market. I don't know if you can hear, but there's coffee brewing in the background. We're gonna get things rolling. We're gonna check things out. So hopefully you're doing well. It's been a little bit of an off week, I think, for most people. You know, I'm on Twitter, right? I'm on FinTwit. And so I read a lot about what people think. And there's a lot of people out there that talk about how the markets are, there it is, crashing. The markets are crashing. The markets are terrible. You should be out of the market. It's not going to work for you. And I don't know. I mean, I'm looking now and the futures are red. So maybe all that talk, there's something to it. But it's just interesting because all week the markets have done fine. In fact, it's the meme stocks or the crazy stocks that have been really volatile. In general, stocks have been going up this week, and we're going to look at it and we're going to talk about it. So let's dig in. Let's start just with the S&P 500. Again, all week, people were thinking, oh yeah, the S&P 500 is going to go down. And the S&P 500 is at levels that we thought were sell levels a while ago. I mean, look at the rise. Market rose. I'll do some simple drawings here for you. I like it. I'm glad you get up with me in the morning. I appreciate it. The coffee just finished. I'm probably going to just get up and grab it. And you can see, so if it's we'll look at the tops, right? And so the fact that the market rose like this, we'll do this on the bottoms, right? And so it was a pretty good story, right? Market was going down, and there's your June 16th low. And what we see now is that the market is in a rather attractive set of appreciation. And so get a lot of complaining that the market it's too much, too fast, it's going up, I don't know what to do, but I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of bad news out there. If you're looking for bad news, I give you a whole bunch of it, but I don't know how material it is. So let's dig in. Where's the bad news? Well, the first thing is, so the VIX is slightly elevated, but it's not very high. It's at 2370. And so I think that's important, right? Because the cost of insurance isn't that high right now. It's up a little, but we had days where the VIX was closing at 20. And so it went up 15%. So the cost of insurance went up 15% in the market. But it stabilized. Now today you have a red open. Looks like the Nikkei was red. My guess is we're going to look, and Europe is going to be red too. We're going to do a quick look at that right now. So this is Yahoo Finance, World Indices, basically the world markets. And if you look, here's Europe. They kind of fall in this category, and they're all red. So that makes sense. And the FTSE's up 0.10, so it's basically red to flat. Hang Seng was flat. Mainland China's down. I'd read that there was some economic issues in China, and that growth might only be 2.5% to 3%. So I remember I was at a dinner with with somebody from China that was worth listening to, and they said, Jeff, the reason we need 6 or 7% economic growth is because that takes 30 million Chinese people out of poverty in a year. So when we grow our economy, we help our people. That's why we do it. Well, but what I'm hearing is the Chinese economy is not growing. There's issues with the housing market. There's issues with COVID. So they didn't do what we did. In the U.S., we kind of let COVID run rampant. we're running 5,000 hospitalizations a day, and we don't seem to care. We don't even have to wear masks anymore. It's done. But I guess in China and other places, they don't have that luxury. When you have 1.3 billion people, if they get sick with COVID, they die in the streets. And so they're still aggressively controlling their COVID measures, and that keeps their economy down. Nothing else really. Jakarta's down a little. Our friends in Indonesia. That's probably worth a deep dive in there. Maybe do a quantum run on Jakarta. But so you see that the indices in general, though, they're running in the middle of the 52-week high and low. For the most part. Except for Ibovespa, which I guess is Brazil. BSC Sensex is India, is looking a little high versus low. CBOE UK 100, I don't know what that index is, but it's United Kingdom, running high, running hot. New York Stock Exchange, that's interesting. The New York Stock Exchange Composite is up high. And I know the Nasdaq's been doing great. Risky stocks are up. That's what it is. So let's take a look at, let's go to currencies. So this is interesting. The US dollar is super strong right now. So a strong dollar usually means terrible stock price performance. And the reason is, and it's even with Verizon, I didn't know Verizon had significant international operations. Do you know Verizon has to hedge currency risk, currency exposure? And they lose, right? Because the dollar continues to strengthen. So let's say I earned some money in Europe and I want to bring those euros of profit back to the US because I want to buy back stock. I want to pay a dividend. I want to just have it on my books, right? Pay off some debt maybe. So now I'm getting fewer US dollars for every... No, in this case, it's interesting. The euro dollar at 1. Yeah, I'm getting fewer dollars. I used to get like a $1.30 for every euro. Now I get $1. So U.S. multinationals, global companies, U.S. companies that are listed in the U.S., headquartered in the U.S. with global operations are going to be less profitable. That's one reason. That's one stressor on the S&P 500. Same thing with Japan, 137 yen per dollar is high. Mexican peso broke above 20. So it's a dollar is more than 20 Mexican peso. So the dollar's strong. Look at that. It's about 80 Indian rupees. This is tough. This is tough for U.S. corporations. The other thing that's tough for U.S. corporations, and you won't read about this till later, but the Inflation Reduction Act, which bans and outlaws inflation in the United States, darn it, and also handles climate change and some other stuff. So we had the bill up on our desk when it passed the Senate, the version that passed the Senate, and there's a new tax coming on corporations. And they're not really talking about it, but it's going to change a lot. And I just want you to know it's coming, right? I think there's going to be a vested interest to lower reported earnings to be more what I would call true earnings. Managing earnings up to get a PE ratio, think of the past. Because you're going to be taxed on your reported earnings in addition to the other earnings. All right, so big picture, markets look great. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. I think you're going to get the same picture with the Nasdaq that you did the S&P 500. It broke through, right? Oh, can you hand me that? That's good. No, mine is done. Thank you. I didn't want to get it from my video. Thanks, my wife, Diana. Off camera. You're still off camera. It's right there.
Okay.
You got to get right behind me. Still can't see you.
Hi, everyone.
There you go.
How are you? Have
This
a
is
good day,
Diana.
honey.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Again, Nasdaq up. See, isn't that nice? Nasdaq down. Look at that beautiful recovery up. And so, I don't know. I don't know that we're in for a downturn right now. I think we have plenty of room to try to claw back some of those losses. I think the time will tell in early September. I think we've got like another week for summer doldrums, and then we figure out what we're going to do. But there's nothing inherently bad in this chart. And so, let's take a look at the futures. So gasoline under $3 again, which is great because we drive our car. Right? Gas is down. Crude oil is down to $88 a barrel. And that's interesting. Interest rates are dropping even though the Fed is talking about a 0.75 or 0.75% interest rate rise. But yet interest rates are falling. And so what that tells me is there's a flight to quality back to the U.S. Back to U.S. equities, back to the U.S. currency, back to U.S. debt securities. Just kind of all roads lead back to Manhattan, New York City. And you can see the dollar just looks tremendously strong. Great British pound, the dollar looks amazing. Canadian dollar, the U.S. dollar is just dominating right now. Silver is down to $19.19, 19.18. Silver is economically sensitive. Plus, it's a precious metal store of value. So, silver goes down. It tells me maybe there's a bet against the economy, but then copper's flat. Yeah, I don't know. This could just be mornings. This could just be the morning of operations expiration. So, you might be wondering, what is options expiration, and how does it work? And so I'm going to take you to a stock, Verizon. I'm going to choose Verizon because I like Verizon. I use the service. The stock is down to $44.01 pre-market. It's going to give me like seizures in the call here if it drops below 44. I might be rolling around on the ground because I can't believe Verizon with a was that like a $6? No, it's a dividend is $2.56 dividend could drop that low, but I get it. So let's take a look at the options. So when they say it's options expiration, what they mean? It's funny. I don't know if anyone ever explained this to me. I'm sure they didn't, and so maybe it's nice to explain it to you. So there's August, September, October, November, and then it jumps to January, so it's a 2-month spread. And then June is 5-month spread. And then January of next year. So those would be leaps. January of 2024 is a leap. So it's more than a year in the future. So we'll look at August, and you see expires August 19. There's options. And they traded yesterday. A $45 option. There's 15,191 contracts. Each contract stands for 100 shares. And about 8% of them traded yesterday. And they traded at 3 cents a share. Now let's be honest, they were 44 cents a share the day before. So they fell over 90%. So if you were holding, if you happen to think, oh, Verizon's going to be $45 and it's going to be great for me, then you lost over 90% of your money. And if you were one of the 92% of the option holders that didn't trade, you just watched your money vaporize. 44.50. 2,112 options. More than 100% of the options traded. 9 cents, down 89 cents. So there you lost 90% as well. And so on the puts, how did we do on the puts? So in general, puts went up. But puts on what they call out of the money options. So this would be like a $43 option. No one thinks it's going to hit $43. So those are 3 cents. 42.50, 1 cent. So I know in the past there were people probably paying like $5 for those options, $3. And now it's 4 cents. And so there's a reckoning. There's a mark to market. There's a match the stock price, which is back up to 44.19. Match the pre-market up. It went back up to 44.19. They must know we're talking about it here at Chicago Quantum. And so all the options kind of mark to market. And so, but now you have a thing where, let's say you own 1,000 options at 45. 1,000 options, 1,000 contracts at 45. You might have bought them yesterday for 3 cents. Okay, so you bought 1,000 options for 3 cents. And you say, you know what? I like Verizon. I own Verizon. I love Verizon. And I want to get that price up above 45. So I'm going to bid up the price of the stock. Just me. I'll buy some more shares. I'll get that price up. And if that price can go, let's say, to 45.50, then my option goes from 3 cents to 50 cents. So I just made 15 times, 17 times let's say 15 times my money after commissions. That's 1,500%. And so you can see these just massive movements on options expiration. And I guess this is the point. And if you go over and over again, there's lots of options. Let's pick another stock. Give me another stock you might be interested in, Jeffrey. Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond. That's a hot one. Look at that. It's traded almost 5 million shares pre-market. It's at $10.60. So there are people, I can hear them right here from my house in Highland Park screaming in pain right now because they have August 19 options. The calls are all marking to this 1060 level. Now, what's funny is these options expire at the end of the day. And yet, break even on the options was like $28. So people thought there was a chance. They were paying 27 cents a share for an option that the stock would be today at $28. They were willing to pay $1.61. They paid $1.61 for a $19 option. But at pre-market, it's $11. Now, if you were on the put side of the house, right, and the ability to sell a stock at $11, it was a $2 option, 2-cent option. You know that option's going to go through the roof, and you just made generational wealth, in theory, if you bought enough of those. So people buy out-of-the-money options, buy out-of-the-money puts, and it looks like they probably bought them at $15. They probably figured out the stock could hit 15. Right? So you paid 42 cents. If the stock closes at 1060, you just made $4. I'm shivering with how big this move is. And so this is what happens on options expiration. People make their bets a couple days before, maybe the day before. And then, hey, what's moving? What's moving is Bed Bath & Beyond. All right, let's buy out of the money calls, which worthless. Let's buy out of the money puts, which printed because they want the volatility. Now, most of my stocks don't really move. Right? Let's use a good index. Let's go KRE. This is a regional bank in the United States. It traded 1 share pre-market. It doesn't move much. Within $1, a whole month it can move $1, right? So we'll take a look at those options. So Jeffrey, what does options expiration look like for a thinly traded stock? Well, it doesn't look like much. So yesterday, it looks like we had so here's how you read it. Strike price. So if the stock is at $68, strike price closest to 68 is probably 70. Oh, they have dollar ones. They're making it nice for you, 68. So 13 options traded yesterday on the $68 call, which means I have the right to buy the stock at 68. So if it's priced less than 68, like 67.95, it's worthless. Because I might as well just go out on the market, tell my broker, buy me 100 shares at 67.74. So they're paying 25 cents. They're trying, and they're willing to sell them at 81 cents. Remember, this option's only good for one more day. But only 1,300 shares worth of options traded at 67.50, which is now in the money. Woo woo! Gonna get rich. I'm gonna be able to buy the stock at 67.50 and make 24 cents. Yeah, I'm paying 55 cents for that. So I'm losing money on that too. But it's not really moving. It's not like Bed Bath & Beyond where there's movement. And so basically all the call options here are going to be worth whatever they're worth, right? So if the stock is in a close at 67.75, then a $60 call should be worth about $8. Should 7.75, 7.50, right? There's some cost to it. So they're all going to kind of settle in, and there probably won't even be much trading. Although, personally, I think it's good to trade out your options and just let them go away, let them match, cross, and go away. Because if you happen to have options at $60, you actually have 1,360 options, which is 136,000 shares. You have to take delivery on 136,000 shares. I don't know about you, but I don't have $70 times $136,000 just to hand to my broker and say, oh, just use it so I can make my 8 cents or whatever. If you can, you close out your options positions, you walk away a winner. Unless you can take delivery, and then that's pretty powerful. Same thing on the puts, just not a lot of movement, right? And so the puts actually moved more, right? Look at the volume, recent volume. And what's interesting is there were puts traded at 63.50. People really thought that those banks were going to crash it. I don't know why. Banks aren't going anywhere. The economy's fine. I haven't read any news, and maybe this is just me, but you should think about it. I haven't read any news that we're in a recession. Nothing. I mean, I'm not hearing anything. Sure, Target didn't sell a bunch of overpriced garbage. Walmart did. But that was a rotation to cheaper products. I know from our perspective, we're buying less. Our kitchen is starting to empty a little bit. But we did buy some new clothes. Not a lot, but a little. A man like me has to be very fashionable. I bought some bling with the earnings that I had. But, we're cutting back. It's true. A lot of people I know are cutting back. We went to a beautiful, beautiful restaurant for drinks with friends of the family 2 nights ago. And there were two couples, basically. It was our 2 couples and one other couple in the entire restaurant. Just was a beautiful place, right? But $15 drinks. I mean, see and be seen is great, but wasn't that busy. And then we went to Bufo's, which is very popular. And, probably 10 couples, 12 couples. Huge restaurant. But you don't hear about it. You're not hearing about defaults on mortgages. You're not hearing about repos on cars. You're not hearing about companies going bankrupt and mass layoffs. You're seeing jobless claims up, 2,000, whatever. It's not much. And so I don't see the banks crashing, but there are people that are betting on the banks crashing. In fact, I had this narrative going on June 16th that the banks were crashing because they were. June 16 was a terrible time to be in bank stocks. We'll go 6 months. That's here. Right? We basically called the bottom and we covered our position, I think on the 14th or 15th. We covered. We missed the best day, but it was fine. We covered. And we covered before it went back up. But you got banks back up. It's fine. So, but this is how it works. So options expiration on boring, stock's not moving. Nothing really happens. But on a Bed Bath & Beyond, those options are changing. Right? They're changing. And so my guess is what people are doing now is they don't really care about macroeconomic bullpucky. Oh, here's the other one, Bitcoin. So my guess is that there are Bitcoin options. I don't know. I don't trade Bitcoin. But let's say that there are Bitcoin options and Dogecoin options. And so Bitcoin's down 9%, Dogecoin is down 15%. Again, I don't know how you would trade those things, but let's just assume that there are options, right? So go ahead, trade the options, all you want. But let's say you bought your option yesterday, you bought calls or puts at 8.5 cents. And then maybe you double down at 8 cents because you're like, I love Dogecoin, man. 8 cents. I'm in. And all of a sudden, the coin drops to 6.8, 6.9. Anyone who owned puts got rich. Anyone who owned calls got poor. If you sold the calls, you got rich. If you sold the puts, you got poor. So, unless you were covered. I don't know what to tell you. It's a big movement. Crypto is having a big movement today to the downside, and I think that's going to be pretty depressing for a lot of people. Okay? Not our bag. We don't trade those things, but people do. Actually, they do a lot, I believe. Markets, trending tickers. What else is moving? So that was Bed Bath & Beyond, which is good for a gag. Now, AMC. We did a video on AMC, and Google found it so offensive they banned it from the internet. So we're not going to talk about AMC much. But I will say that AMC is down, GameStop is down, and so just be careful, because if you have options on GameStop and if you have options on AMC, this type of movement, 7%, 9%, it makes or breaks you. It's casino gambling, legalized casino gambling. And Indo is back on the table. Indo is back on the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Camber is back. Mara is not. Mara's even getting back on the table there. Oh, there's some of my old friends. Oh, wow. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that some of the worst memed up, drugged up stocks. Indonesia Energy Corporation. It's up 34% yesterday. Wow. Camber Energy's up. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. And Coinbase down 9%. Now, Coinbase has options, so let's take a look at Coinbase's. Again, it's options expiration. And so if you're not in these stocks, you don't really care. I mean, it's good for maybe bar talk. Oh, yeah, Coinbase was down 9% pre-market. Really? Pass me some of those bar nuts. Thanks. Oh, you're a handsome young man. Oh, really? When I was your age, I'm 95 right now. I thought men like you, you were too hot for me. But now, oh, yeah. So what's that about Coinbase? Should I be calling my broker? No. Because Coinbase options expire today. And the stock is down to $75.85. So again, this is what's kind of at the money right now, is a call option that some poor bastard paid $7.80 for yesterday. 300 shares worth. And a $75 call, which is still not, it's kind of close to in the money, probably trade for 50 cents, right? They paid $8.50. Somebody lost their life savings. Now, if you were on the puts, oh yeah. So this is the ability to buy at 75. This is the ability to sell at 75. Or to put your stock at somebody else. Stick it to them at 75. And so all this wealth is going to vaporize. anyone that bought calls above 75 at this moment looks like they want to sell them for anything they can get and get out. And if they really want calls on Coinbase, you got to start moving down the channel here, right? To 74, 73. Same thing on the puts, right? All these puts between like 85 and 75 just became immensely valuable. So you might have bought a put for 9 cents on 75. That put's probably worth $1 right now, or 75 cents. That's a huge gain. And 1,719 of those options traded. An $80 put, if you thought that Coinbase would drop, you thought that the market was going to have a bad Friday, that's 928,000 shares worth of options traded yesterday. So a million shares. And let's say they traded it under $1. So 80 to 76 is $4. So you could probably get out of that right now this morning at $4. So you paid $1, you're selling it for $4, and you're out. You just quadrupled your money. This is why people trade options. Oh my God, though. But again, this is great if you're in Coinbase, and it's down 9% pre-market. If you bought something that didn't move, then you were sleepy. What probably didn't move? I can't believe the movement on Coinbase. So let's look at another one. Let's look at Cisco. Cisco's moving a healthy 22 cents pre-market. It's at 49. So let's look at the $50 calls. August expiration, right? So $50 calls. No one's really getting rich. They're at 9 cents. And so let's say the stock goes to 49. Yeah, you lost your 9 cents. It's fine. There's a lot of them traded though. 295,000, 2.93 million shares worth traded. So $300,000 was bad. All right. You're hoping maybe something happened, right, with Cisco. Right, maybe it goes over 50, but this way it didn't. It went the other way, and so you can see this. Not a lot of moves, and you can see this on the calls and on the puts. A $50 put to sell it at 50 should be worth about 75 cents, 76 cents. It's traded last at 76 cents. Those look pretty fairly valued. Anything out of the money is down to a penny. And so it just is what it is, right? Look at that. Look at the losses on those. They mark to market very quickly, Cisco. And so that's all options premium that got vaporized. $2.47 a share. Just got vaporized yesterday. $6.76. So what happens is people move then to the next week. So this particular stock, Cisco, has options that expire every week. So there's people every week looking for that big move. And they loaded the boat now. Look at that. Calls around 48, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52. So they're loading the boat. So there's people that just want to either buy or sell calls on Cisco in or around the money. And the puts, not as much. It's more that they're worried about a jump up than they're worried about a crash down. And so, all right, that's interesting. What else is interesting? Let's go back to the futures. They're down, and all the stocks that we saw that were moving, the trending stocks, generally were trending lower, and a bunch of garbage was moving higher. Oh, except John Deere, which is not garbage. And let's see if there's anything most active. Maybe there's a pre-market most active. No, it looks like the move is this morning. So people are really popping things this morning. TEL, which is a liquid natural gas project, It's up 50 cents. Not bad. So that's what's going on today. So it's options expiration day, and people are being blessed with movement, with volatility, with crude oil movement, right? With commodities movement. Silver's down almost 2%. People getting rich on those moves. Copper's flat. The VIX is still, it's up a little. It's not much, right? Stocks are down. But the real money is when you dig into an individual stock like an AMC. Or we'll pop it up again, a BBY. No, not BBY, BBBY. Right? And you look and you say, all right, I'm down almost 7% on AMC. I'm down 42% on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm down almost 10% on GameStop. Dogecoin, I'm down 15%. Coinbase, I'm down 9%. Marathon, I'm down 13%. And these are liquid. These are liquid options. Right? Cisco, not really moving. I'll probably not make a lot of money or lose a lot of money on Cisco. KRE, actually the banking ETF is down 1.25%. So yeah, maybe people are going to make a few bucks. And this is all pre-market. So this is all trading before the big trading desks open. We don't trade pre-market. We don't really even trade after hours, right? We trade when the market's open. That's what we do. So let's take a look. Where are we in terms of just overall stock? So I just gave you a bunch of names to look at. But you know how to find those, right? So where's the movements? Our holdings. Pre-market. What's interesting is D-Wave is down. Nothing else really moving. We like D-Wave. We have some of the warrants. We like D-Wave. Our Walking Wounded list. Party City's down 8.5%. AMC we talked about. Highcroft Mining. That's another somewhat memed. EJH, somewhat just risky and somewhat memed. The Carlyle Group is interesting because that's not a meme. Warner Brothers Discovery. There's a chance to buy some value here. There may be a chance to buy some real value today. And so we're going to take a look. Maybe. Regional banks, pre-market. Bank of Hawaii down 5% pre-market. That's always interesting. By the way, Bank of Hawaii has been down pre-market like $1 or $2 or whatever. A lot. $4. But it never lasts. Bank of Hawaii is being, I believe the tape is being painted pre-market. BOH. I don't know why they would do it. I don't even think it trades options. If anything, it's got a couple of options. Like, they don't trade. Yeah, 10 shares. It's tape painting. They don't even have August options. Yeah. If they're painting the tape, I don't even know why they're doing it. Stupid. I shouldn't say stupid. That's not nice. I just don't understand what they're doing. All right. Well, you know what? Good luck in the markets today. We're not paid to make the videos, but we enjoy making them. It sharpens up our game. I found a couple stocks to look at. I'm going to find some of that option stuff going on. I'm going to track it. I'm curious. Very curious to see what's going to happen there. And I'm going to learn, and then I'm going to tell you in another video. So you take care now. Be safe out there. Don't buy any wood nickels, right? And just good luck. Take care.